Welcome to HydroTea,
where we spill all the tea.
My name is Kenzie.
And I'm Michelle, and we are so excited you're here with us today. Okay, today was incredible. I'm so excited for you guys to listen to this episode of HydroTea with Aubrie B. It was so good, and you guys are going to learn so much. We talked all about her businesses. She wears many hats, and she's also a new mom of cute little 7-month-old Letty. And
yeah, it was really, really awesome. She spilled some really good tea as far as advice goes. Welcome back to HydroTea. Today we are here for our second episode. We have a really special guest. It's Aubrie, one of our athletes. She's been with us from the very beginning, basically, of HydroJug. We're here on our little Black Friday getaway trip in Moab, so we decided to sit her down and do a little podcast.
Yep, just ask her all the things.
All the tea.
Yes.
She's spilling it. So Aubrie, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Don't know really if I have any tea, but I'm sure
we'll get it out of her. Okay, so we just wanted to have Aubrie come on to kind of share a little bit of her story, a little bit of her background. So just to start, I think it's super interesting to hear this question, but tell us a little bit about your childhood. Like, where did you grow up? How were you as a child? All of that.
So I actually grew up in Montana, really small town, literally like 1,800 people. I graduated with 34 people maybe. So everybody knew everybody. I was the baby of 7 children.
So crazy.
Yes. I don't know
like,
how many
so you lived the
kids I had.
true life Yellowstone?
I haven't seen Yellowstone. I refuse to watch it. Sorry. I refuse to watch Yellowstone. I just don't even want to see like what they're depicting of Montana.
Yeah.
But if you've never been there, go. It was just like small town living, and I was the youngest, so I always watched my older siblings like make mistakes and do really great things also. And I feel like I just learned from them. I gotta say though, I was a little bit spoiled. Like,
oh, I'm sure it's
the
a
baby
baby
of 7. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the age range? Like,
so my oldest sister is 10 years older than me. So there's this,
wow, quick.
10 years older. And then my, so the sister that's nearest my age is 3 years older than me. So when I was in high school, it was just me at home with my parents.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I remember they used to like leave me for weekends. They would go see my niece who was like a baby, and I'm like, why are you leaving me? Like, you know, I'm going to throw a party, right?
Right.
I don't know.
So how were you growing up? Like, were you really active? What were your activities?
So in high school, I played volleyball and golf. And then I quit those my senior year because I cared a little bit more about community service. I remember I did that a lot. And then music, I was very into like performing, and I did voice lessons and piano lessons and that kind of thing my entire life. So that's what I invested my energy into. As far as activity though, I feel like I kind of struggled with body image, of course, when I was younger. And I exercised probably like senior year, but it was really to like lose weight. You know, it was not in a very healthy way, I guess. But I think a lot of people can relate to that as young women. Like, you just, back then we didn't have social media, so it was just magazines, and that's all I saw was like little
super
people.
Super thin,
100%.
like super tall.
Yeah, I can relate. I remember looking at like a Vogue magazine and their arms, and I would be like, my arm needs to be like that skinny. Like, I can still remember looking in the mirror and like comparing to the magazine. So
Yeah, absolutely. It was not good.
Yeah.
So tell us about your schooling.
I obviously graduated high school, and then I went to college 3 hours from home, and I got my bachelor's in communicative sciences and disorders, and then I got my master's in speech language pathology. So I spent 6 years studying in Missoula, Montana at the University of Montana. Simply put.
Yeah.
I know. I don't think a lot of people know that. I mean, maybe from your channel and stuff, but I think it's
I
really
don't talk
cool
about it a lot.
Yeah.
So like, did you do?
Yeah. So right out of like getting my master's, I quote unquote got my dream job. That's what I thought. And I moved to Seattle, and I worked in a private practice. It was mostly pediatrics, but we had a couple, adult patients. And then I quickly found out that it was just not what I envisioned at the private clinic. And essentially when I moved from Seattle to Houston about a year later, I went to the schools and I ended up loving the schools. I was in practicing there for 3 years. So I just love pediatrics. I love kids, helping kids with disabilities. Like, it's my jam.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What made you want to do that in the first place?
Honestly, I wanted to do something medical, but I knew I didn't want to go to school to be a doctor. Like, it just was so overwhelming to me. And I knew I liked helping people. So it was just kind of like a good mix. You know, I didn't have to go to school for that long, and I got to have that rewarding satisfaction of working with people, helping people. So
yeah, that's awesome. So now as an adult, how did you meet your hubby?
So we met on Tinder when I moved to Seattle.
I love that so much.
I love it too, because I feel like, you know, Tinder gets a bad rap, but yeah, that's how we met. So he was stationed in Seattle area in the Navy, and we were both on Tinder. I lived with my sister at the time, who was, again, 3 years older than me, and we just got on Tinder just for fun. Like, we were both single. Like, we love to like sit down at night and like file through people and just kind of like, you know, I don't know, bond over it. But I just so happened I swiped right on him. He swiped right on me. And I mean, obviously the rest is history, but from the point that we started talking on a Friday, and then by Sunday we FaceTimed for like 3 hours, which I was not expecting. And then by Tuesday we met in person. And then after that we were like kind of inseparable. And so that was May of 2015 or 16. I kind of forget. But, and like by August, we moved from Seattle together to Houston. My family thought I was crazy. So he got out of the Navy. He, you know, found a job in Houston, and that's kind of why we ended up in Houston for 3 years. But yeah, that's how we met.
That's awesome. So once you moved to Houston, so you were doing your job in Seattle, and then you found a new job in Houston, or like, how did that transition go?
We were actually on vacation to meet his family in July, and he had never brought like a girl home, so that was like a big deal. We were just very committed, obviously. But while we were on that trip, I had put in some like job, you know, just put my resume in Houston, just thinking, oh, I'll go there a little bit later on. We won't like move there right away. But I got an offer that was great, and I put in my 2 weeks notice essentially while I was gone on this vacation. I feel so bad for, like, looking back, that was such a bad decision, but that's what I did. So
that is, yeah, I feel like that happens though. Like, I kind of did the same thing moving down to Vegas. I was like, hey, by the way, I got another job down here, and now I'm here for 5 years. So
yeah, I remember my director was like looking at me. She's like, you know, in the future, just so you know, it'd be best if you would give like 6 weeks notice. And I'm like, okay. I'm sorry.
Sorry, this is life. But okay. So now you guys are married.
Yes.
Okay, and you guys have one.
Yes,
baby.
we have she'll be 7 months next week.
Yeah.
That's
so exciting.
It's amazing.
So just to like backtrack just a tiny bit. So Brad, that's your husband. I don't know if we said
Brad.
his name. Brad. How did meeting Brad kind of change your life's path?
Wow. Yeah, because I definitely did not think that I would end up where I am today, looking, 5 years ago. But so I was doing CrossFit at the time when we met, and then he was more of like into bodybuilding. And so when we met, I started working out with him. We got really into fitness and tracking macros, and that's really kind of how our social media started. So obviously social media has like been the biggest catalyst to all that we have done in the last 5 years. So that's really, obviously Brad, yes, is that the reason.
Did he push you to start your social media, or were you like?
He wanted to start our YouTube channel for sure. And so at the same time we started our YouTube channel, we were like, yes, let's post on Instagram as well. I did not want to grow. I did not think we would grow at all. I just wanted to help people because we kept getting questions. Like we'd go to the gym or just meet our friends and they would be like, what are you guys doing? Like you're able to eat cake and donuts and, you know, all this fun food. But you have a really great balance. And so like, how do you do it? So we're like, all right, we'll just start a YouTube channel. We'll answer those questions.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of like snowballed from there. And we just started sharing like more about life and obviously fitness and food still, about traveling. And
So your start was like macros. That's kind of how
it's
you,
called
okay.
memories
Yeah, I would
over
say so.
memories over macros, right?
yeah, I have a coaching company now and it's been operating for the last 3+ years. But yes, it's called Memories Over Macros. It used to be called something different, but now it's just my own. It used to be Brad and I's, but now it's just mine. So it's like my baby.
So what, can you go into that name? Because I love that.
Yeah. So I want to preface this by saying, like, I didn't actually come up with it. We kind of heard it in passing, but now it is our trademark. So again, I didn't like invent it. It's not too novel, but what it means to us is, yes, it is great to track macros. I think it's an amazing tool. We do not expect that you'll do it the rest of your life because you do need to learn kind of, you know, flexibility and trusting yourself to eat the right things. But when it comes time to make memories with other people, so like holidays, special events, like you don't want to be sitting there, which is what I did in the past. You don't want to be sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, I have to track this, or oh my gosh, this is going to make me fat, or, you know, I'm not going to reach my macros today, or it's going to screw everything up, or, you know, all those questions that you go through when you're just on a diet or trying to be more healthy. Yeah, you can still make progress without sacrificing those special times,
Those memories.
Yeah, that is I really like that quote. I mean, I lived in the fitness world forever, competed, and I had those same thoughts like, oh no. But then I started realizing exactly like that is
right.
These
A
are
meal
memories.
off, a day off. You can kind of bounce off. It might take a week, but you can bounce back. And
Yeah.
exactly.
I was just thinking about this. So you said that growing up, like in high school and stuff, you had a little bit of like body image, stuff like that. So when did the transition where you started to love your body like happen? Do you know what I mean? Like where you weren't working out to get skinny.
I love this because I think so many people can really, and I hope this is like powerful for people. So when I was in high school, obviously just kind of like worked out, and I remember trying to just eat 500 calories a day. Like oatmeal packet for breakfast, lean cuisine for dinner, and then like barely anything for lunch. And that's how I kind of operated. So obviously, yes, disordered eating. So I transitioned into college and I met a guy and he did CrossFit. Back then it was like CrossFit, nobody knew about it. It was like you just did it in your home gym or whatever. But we started doing it and I realized that I wanted to be powerful. I wanted to do these workouts and I needed energy for it. And I couldn't do that on 500 to 1,000 calories. Like it was just not possible. So, you know, I started that full circle of, okay, I need to eat so that I can work out and, you know, accomplish this workout. And then it just kind of, again, snowballed and it was awesome. Like I started seeing my body as not just something that looked good, but something that, you know, I was functional and strong and, you know, powerful. And I did CrossFit for 7 years exclusively.
Wow. That's amazing.
I love
so going into like Instagram, like what was the point that you were like, I'm an influencer?
No.
Right? I know. You're like, I'm not.
But like you started from a real genuine, like you wanted to just help people.
Did you
And
ever
we
have a
still say
point
that.
and you were like,
where I was like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, for the first couple of years, I feel like it just slowly grew. But then when I started sharing my workouts, I remember the first workout that I ever shared as like a swipe through, it was before it even really became a thing. I grew like 30,000 essentially overnight. And I'm like, what the heck is going on? So that really started at about like 100,000 followers. But no, never did I ever plan on it. Brad and I still operate on the sense if you're helping one person, that is enough. So
that is powerful.
if we have a bad day, like obviously people know on social media you're going to get flack for things. There's going to be a lot of negativity, but if you stand by the fact that I'm helping one person, maybe I don't know who that is, but if I'm adding value to their life, then I've done my job.
So HydroJug, you were living in Houston when you started with them. Like, how did that start, right?
Yes, I remember there was no athlete manager, like there was no contracts. There was
just
like,
Hayden.
Yeah, it was just Hayden. Like we would just talk on the phone and he'd be like, yeah, we're going to send you this new HydroJug and here's your discount code. And that was really when things like discount codes and links were new.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sure, that's awesome. Like I love HydroJug. I obviously drink water. So.
Yeah. So did he reach out to you or did you find HydroJug?
So we laugh about it now. I'm pretty sure what happened was he messaged in January on HydroJug's account and I like disregarded it or something. And then like 6 months later, he returned and was like, hey, just checking in. And I'm like, oh yeah, no, I don't know how I missed this. And it just kind of started
I feel like
from
that
there.
happens a lot.
Yeah. Do you know where were you at as far as your account when he reached out to you? Do you know, like roughly?
Maybe like 30,000 followers. Maybe. I really don't know.
That's
Just an
incredible.
estimate.
That's crazy. Yeah. So really kind of like
you guys are growing together.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen the transformation of HydroJug and their team, and then I've seen obviously at the same time mine.
So how was it in the beginning of HydroJug? I mean, because you were from the beginning, so what were your thoughts about the brand at that time?
I mean, I loved it, and like I said, it was really at the beginning of any influencer type brand and that way of marketing. So I didn't really think twice. Hayden was always very kind and HydroJug was always very generous and giving. And it was just fluid, I guess. I never questioned it, but absolutely, like looking back, things have really gotten better, evolved, gotten better. Yes.
Were you the first athlete to do a sleeve collab too?
Yes. My first sprinkle sleeve, which it's so cute now. Like I look at it and I'm like, this is really cute, but we have a lot of cuter stuff now.
But I love it. I can
so
still
cute.
picture it in my head.
I know, even seeing like the photos and stuff, I was like, oh, that's so fun and cute.
Yes.
Yeah. So how did we got cookie dough right now, but is this Fat and Weird as well?
Yes.
So how did Fat and Weird start? Like, where did that?
All right. So 1 year for Brad's birthday. So this was about 3 years ago. I asked my followers privately, because you know how you can like privatize your stories. I was like, all right, guys, I want to surprise Brad. He's a cookie lover and I want to surprise him with like cookies from all over the US, all over the world. So I was like, if you have a cool cookie place or if you want to make cookies or whatever it is, like this is his birthday, send them, just label them birthday boy, send them to Texas, like whatever. And we got over like 1,000 cookies sent to us.
Oh my head.
So crazy.
It was awesome. It was amazing. So we got those boxes, tried everything, obviously like froze them and tried them over time as well. And I remember him waking up, it was probably like June of 2018. And he was like, Aubrie, I want to start a cookie company. Like I want to do really amazing dough, like classically executed dough, but crazy flavors, because there was really nobody doing that. There was people like doing crazy flavors, but they weren't executed in like a classical way. So by August we were launching like our first cookies, and it was really just a side project. Like he asked his aunt to bake and she did it in a commercial kitchen. Like we had all the legalities situated. But we like sold out that first Friday. I think we sold like 1,000 cookies or something. We were like, what's going on? So that's how Fat and Weird started. People always ask us about the name.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah. Where did the name come from?
So on our YouTube channel, we used to travel and eat, of course. That's like our favorite thing to do. And every time we would go to eat somewhere, he would be like, let's get fat and weird. So it just, it just fit.
Yeah.
So now it's like fat cookies with weird names.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. So now today you launched.
Yes, today actually it was the first official launch of our edible cookie dough, which we've been working on for like a year just to try to master. Obviously doing something where it's shelf stable. So you actually don't need to refrigerate it. It can like sit on your shelf. But obviously with heat treated flour and things that you can, eat raw. And you can also bake it. So it launched today. I brought it here for you guys. Yeah.
No, so I told her, like, let's just do like a taste test, like on the pod.
Let's go.
Okay, I want to.
Do you want to tell us the flavors?
All right. So we have 9 flavors of, we call them our OG flavors. They're flavors of cookies and cookie dough that are always available on our website. But then every week we launch exclusive flavors. So like we've done a margarita cookie. We have like a pink lemonade cookie. We have, any flavor that you can think of, we've done. But these are our OG flavors. We have the Imposter, which is vegan. It's like a coconut chocolate chip dough. It's got a core. Every cookie dough has a core running through the center. That's just like incredibly delicious, gooey core. Then we have Big Booty Dough, which is a birthday cake cookie, and it's got a cake pop core. And then we have the Brad, which is named after my husband. Oatmeal chocolate chip. It's got a chocolate frosting core. And then this is Party Animal. It's a sugar cookie with animal cookies and a frosting core.
Okay. We're going to try them. So here.
Okay.
I guess we can just pick one.
If you're a chocolate lover, I would do the Brad. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, okay, let me do that one then.
This one looks good to me too. Or this one.
Okay.
What's your favorite?
I like Big Booty Dough.
Yeah.
I like Incognito, which is our gluten-free one. It's a monster cookie, and it's got like a peanut butter frosting in the center, but we didn't bring that one.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me that. Oh, I'm getting a ginormous bite.
I had one, and I got rid of it.
Brad and I, it's like our favorite thing to see reactions.
Oh my.
Wow, that was delicious.
She double dipped.
I did. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. We've all been doing that.
Okay, it's so good. Holy crap.
That is so good.
Yay, I'm so glad you like it.
I want you to try it.
Okay.
You should flip it. Flip your
Flip
spoon.
my spoon.
There's a fork too.
Guys, you have to get the Big Booty Dough. Holy. All of them.
It's Brad and I's favorite thing to do is just like see people's like happiness or reaction to our cookies and stuff. Like it's the best.
The Brad, don't let me down. This is the one you tried, right? Mm-hmm. That one's so good, huh?
I can't decide which one's better, but I think that one. This one's really good. This is like true.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you get to take them home now, so. Yeah, I can take them with me.
Oh, yay. Yum. Yeah, Brad's really good too.
All right.
Rating 10 out of 10 or 11 out of 10.
Yeah, so good.
So good. What other products do you guys have? So you have these?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the only like fitnessy type product we have is a protein cookie butter. So if you ever had, the Biscoff cookies that you get on like Delta flights?
Yes.
So they make a cookie butter out of that cookie, and it's like spreadable like peanut butter, and you can buy it in the store. But we did that with our cookies as well. So we have like protein spreads, which sounds kind of funky, but they are so good. So we have 4 flavors, I think, right now. Those are on our website. So we have cookies. We are coming out with a variety pack, which are mini stuffed cookies. And then we have our cookie dough now.
Yum.
Nice. So you have another business called Motive.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Guys, Aubrie wears many hats.
Yes, she is
I do. I really do.
a jack of all trades.
Okay, so Motive is our clothing brand. We started it with essentially 4 other people. There's 2 other couples. We all kind of have like different roles, and it just kind of works. We started it last year, and it's just, I think with clothing, it's difficult, especially because we're doing the route of, we have a designer and we run through like designs and samples, and it just takes a long time, so we're just getting established, and it's been really fun. What I do is work on the designs with the designer. So we have men's and women's clothing, and it's definitely full time, but it's very fun.
So full time, and you also have Fat and Weird. You're also a mother. What goes in, how do you compartmentalize your time? Schedule.
Yeah, that's a great question, because I don't think that it goes very well most of the time. If I could choose, I would definitely just be a mom. Like I love being a mom. It's amazing, but our companies cannot function without me. So that's why, I can't just be a mom. So thankfully with all of our businesses, they've kind of happened over time. So like Memories Over Macros, I have 4 coaches that work on our team, and I rely on them a lot. So they've got that, and I kind of help support them. And then with Fat and Weird Cookie, we've grown our team over the last 3 years. And so really I just kind of supervise, and I help a lot with more of the social media, like posts and stuff. I was the one posting on our page for the longest time, and I can't say that I was like amazing at it, but I did it and it worked. But it was time to like hire somebody new for content and social media. So we have someone now that does that. So I kind of help her out. And then with Motive, just doing whatever I can with the designs and helping with content. It's a team effort for sure. But yeah, you just get by. You just do it. You guys know your moms.
Yeah. So talking about mom stuff. Do you want to talk a little bit about your journey with becoming a mom?
Yeah. So I think this is helpful for so many people. I think more often than not, you find people that have struggled with fertility. And so that was our struggle. We tried for about a year, or 2 years total. The first year it was like, we'll just see if it happens. And then the second year it was like, we're really trying here, and nothing was happening. I was telling the girls on the hike today, because I think it's such a cool story, about just kind of like letting go of control, I guess. You always think that you have control, but you don't. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You just don't in life. So at the point where I was like ready to just like give up and let go, we had just found out like June 30th, we had found out that, hey, after testing, it looks like you will need some help. It's probably not going to happen on its own. And then 15 days later, I found out I was pregnant.
Oh my heck.
Yeah.
So crazy.
So if you do the math, it kind of like happened on the day that they told us.
Wow.
And at that point, like I said, I was kind of at a low point. I was like, I give up, just, maybe it's not for me or whatever. So
yeah, I love that story because what you said, we've talked to a lot of people, and it's a lot more common than not to go through that. And then as far as after you got pregnant, how was your pregnancy? Like, how was being pregnant?
I loved it. And I know not everybody, not everybody can say that. And of course I didn't love every minute of it. I gained like over 50 pounds, which is not really the norm. I was kind of freaked out about that, but my doctor was like, you're healthy. And, but if you're out there and that's also your pregnancy story, like, yeah, it's okay, Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But pregnancy was great. I worked out pretty much the whole time, even if it was like 3 times a week. And even if it was, not that great of a workout,
you still just got
moved your body.
Yes. Yeah. It really helped.
Important. So do you have any advice for moms, new moms, business owning moms?
Oh my gosh. I could probably list like 10 things. So much advice. So something that was not really shared with me that I went through and I love to share is when Letty was born, I went through it took me like 24 hours, I feel like, to really feel, I loved her, but like I felt like I didn't know her. It was like this stranger to me, and not everybody tells you that. They're like, oh my gosh, you're going to like be in love with your baby. And it might have been, she had to be like removed from me because she needed oxygen right after she was born. So it might have been that disconnect, but that was something I was not expecting, as well as there's like 1,000 different emotions that you feel. So I thought that I would be like this elated happiness, like on cloud 9. And I was, but there was also like sadness and scared. And like, I remember crying. Of course you're hormonal, but like I remember crying when Brad left to get our pizza for the night, because I was like, holy crap, what?
Your life takes a 360 and you're like, I've talked about that before too. Because I felt that same thing. Like, this is a stranger. And what made me feel better is thinking like, the first time, maybe it's not for you though, because the first time you met Brad, you probably were like head over heels. But if you think of your spouse, it takes some time like to fall in love. And like the longer you're together, the deeper in love you feel. And I feel like that's the same with your kids. Like the initial love is there, the longer you're with your kids, the
Yes,
love grows,
yeah, it just grows.
deeper and deeper and deeper.
Absolutely.
So.
So, do you have any advice like for currently struggling infertility women that are currently struggling with infertility? Sorry.
I would say never lose hope. Like, I'm religious, so I always say like God doesn't give you a desire, or there's not that desire to be a mom if you're not meant to do that in some way. Sorry, I'm getting emotional.
You're going to make me cry.
I know.
Stop.
No, and you know, for some people it doesn't happen, and I don't know how you go through that, and I you know, I'm very sorry if you are going through that, but again, I think there are plenty and like an abundance of opportunities for you to mother in your life, whether that be like your nieces or the kids that you work with, like yeah, so don't lose sight of that responsibility that you have. Like you can spread that maternal, like motherly love that you have to so many kids who need it. So
I love that so much. Oh my goodness.
Sorry.
No, I 100% feel you. Jeez. I have dealt with secondary infertility for 7 years. So I have a 10-year-old, but me and my spouse have tried. We haven't done anything above going to check ourselves and stuff, but yeah, it's tough, but I am so thankful that I have at least one that I can love and cherish, but I do play a big part in bringing my nieces and nephews in and treating them like my other kids. So.
I love that advice. Like, I love that.
I mean, as hard as it is, I think that's somewhere that you can put that energy into and do it wholeheartedly. And, you know, they need that.
Yeah.
That's what they are there for. So,
well, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you so much. So Michelle was just asking advice for that, but also Letty is now 7 months old. And we kind of were wanting some advice for like the working mom, you know? Do you have any like working mom advice? Because I think you asked that before. Yeah.
I think asking for help when you need it. Hopefully most of you have helpers in your life. And I think as moms, especially maybe as a new mom too, you don't want to ask for help, but you will be more sane and better able to work for it. So ask for help.
I just feel like our personalities too would be like, no, we can do it. Like we can do it all. We're going to get it all done. But that is so important. Like, I'm glad you said that. That's like the best advice someone could give. Going on, I feel like one of the best advice, because I feel like I want to hear yours as well. One of the biggest advice that I ever got, and it wasn't technically advice, my mom had just mentioned it, and I was like, wow, I don't want to be that. But she said, I love being a grandma because I can really slow down and enjoy the little things, the questions, the would you rathers, the million little things, and actually turn down the music and listen to them and talk to them and hear what they have to say in their stories. And I was like, wow. And my mom told me this like as before he could even talk, but she was like, I just love sitting here and playing with the spoon with him. But as a mom, I didn't do that. So I always try to tell people, like, think about if you were the grandparent, because then you'll be my mom who wishes she would have done that with us.
That's so crazy. My mom gave me that same advice. She was like, I don't think I ever sat with you guys. It was always like, this task, this task, this task.
I remember my mom the same way. It was like, she still never really sits down unless it's with our grandkids.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can be busy, but the time you have with them, like that is your time, whether it be 30 minutes a day or whatever, you know, like
I love
to
that.
really hone in on that time and enjoy it.
Yeah. I think some other advice, this is kind of going the opposite way, but I think I saw someone post this, but it's like the airplane analogy with the oxygen mask. Like they say for you to put yours on first so that you can do that for your kids. So if you don't put some time in for yourself, I feel like it's really easy as a mom to get lost in your kids and give everything to them. And it's really hard to be like, you know what, I need some me time just so I can be the best mom, the best spouse, the best daughter, you know, like anything. So I love thinking about that.
All right. So I love talking about mom stuff.
I know we could go on forever.
So cut it. Sorry.
Cut the pause. You could say, how is that one? Okay. So just to wrap up the mom stuff, but how has becoming a mom changed you as a person?
I feel like I was actually thinking about this today. I'm like happier than I've ever been. Yeah. And again, I'm so sorry if you're not feeling that. It's okay. Like, you know, everybody has a different story and journey. But for me, I mean, I dealt with my whole life, just ups and downs and, you know, that kind of thing. And I just feel like this is what I'm meant to do. And I have energy to do it. And I'm happy most of the time, of course, like sleep deprived, but yeah, happier than I've ever been. So I think, yeah, that's the biggest change is just
brought you so much happiness.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we want to know what sets your heart on fire, because you have so many roles right now, but what really lights you up? Obviously being a mom.
Right. Absolutely being a mom. But I would say, again, like watching people like try our cookies or just like try products or whatever it is, like we love that. We live for it. But helping people, I don't think there's anything like it. I can take the most like depressed person, unhappy person in their life, and if you give them a way to help another person, something changes in them, and there's like more value to life. So I would say in any like aspect, absolutely helping other people is what I'm meant to do.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, going based off of what you went to college for was helping other people, and then you went to the training and then everything else after that. So what do you attribute most of your success to? Would you say it's luck or hard work?
I definitely don't think that it's luck. I would say the word that I am thinking of is like perseverance. You know, Brad and I have so many moments in our businesses that we could have just been like, okay, this is hard. I don't want to do this. Like, peace out. But if you can push through that, and maybe that is a little bit of like hard work, but just investing your energy into being optimistic about what you're doing. So I would say that, yes, perseverance, like getting through all those struggles and just refusing to like be drugged down by negativity or whatever mistake it was, you know?
Yeah, I love that. I mean, because I don't feel like everything is luck, but I do feel like some has to play into it. And then like hard work is obviously like a big part of it. But like a lot of people are like, this is too hard. I'm done. Mm-hmm. Like I'm out.
Well, and I don't really... another piece too, I will say, I know there's some people out there that are like sitting on an idea and they really want to do it, but they don't have confidence to do it. That is one thing that I've seen in Brad that I don't have is execution. You can have the greatest idea. You can have something that you want to invent or whatever it is, but if you don't just have that one moment of like bravery, execution, you'll never do it. Like it won't get done. And so I've seen that in him, and that's my advice to everybody else is like, just go for it.
That is really, really smart and interesting because Hayden was the same way.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah. Like we asked Hayden too, like, how did you have confidence to invest in yourself? I think that's the scary part is like when you put a number into it too of like, I'm going to put this money into just myself. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try.
Yeah, it's scary. No wonder not a lot of people do it. It's because it's a lot, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I guess it'll be worth it, especially if you're passionate about it. If you're just doing it for the money, you'll never be successful. Like, obviously that is very true with HydroTea because it was never about that. And with our businesses, it was never about that. It was like, all right, let's help people or let's like execute this idea and that's it. And then it just grows because you're passionate about it.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Just to end this whole thing, what is one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Don't care what people think. And not in a way that makes you act like, you know, crazy or just like doing things aloof, like, you know, not giving or disregarding people's feelings or, you know, their lives. But yeah, just don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. These little windows of time that you're going through are so temporary. So if you can see them like that, I just feel like you'll have more happiness in life and less worry, and you'll be able to do the things that you were meant to do.
Yeah, I feel like me and Kenzie talk about that a lot, actually, because, I mean, just with social media, you're
it's
like,
hard.
no, I don't want to post that because this person will think this or this person will think that. And we are like, no, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just post it.
I don't know what happened in my life, but I used to be so nervous about what people thought. And now I'm just like, this is just me.
Not everybody's going to like it.
No, no. Yeah. I love that. That's advice that I would give to my younger self too.
Well, I have learned a lot today and you are incredible. And I am so
Thank you so
thankful
much.
that you came on.
Oh,
and did
thank you
this.
for
This
having
trip
me.
has
I
been
hope
so
it
fun
helps
too.
someone. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
If that wasn't explained, like we are on our Black Friday Moab trip, so I'm sure you've seen it, you know, in our feed, but this is where we decided to do the podcast.
And if you're listening, we also post like a full YouTube video too, if you want to see us, see our little hotel room.
See us cry, you know.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Aubrie. You're amazing.
Thank you for having me. I, can't say enough good things about HydroJug, and I love every time that I spend with you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for listening to the interview with Aubrie. Don't forget to give us a rating and review. Hit the subscribe button. We are on Apple and Spotify. We are also on YouTube if you want to watch the full video. Thank you so much. We will be back soon.
Bye.